Hey, how you fine folks doing? We're in the sad clown car right now. Actually, not in any kind of car specifically because every summer, if it's not one thing, it's another. I was coming back from a spot last week, blew the engine up in my car, something I've never done before. Though allegedly, it's under a recall, so maybe we'll get a free engine out of it. In any case, I've been a solid 10 days to a week. Maybe have I even shot any videos yet in June? Been a little bit. We've progressed beyond the springtime now. It is what I would cautiously refer to as early summer. And as you can see in front of us, we got a species of Platanthera blooming. One that we've never talked about on the show before. One of the more early blooming species of Platanthera. This is Platanthera grandiflora. This is the large purple flowered orchid. I don't know what the common names with some of these Platanthera. You get into it's almost easier it is easier to use a scientific name, but the common names get really wordy with some of these species. In any case, species of Platanthera here, probably, if not the most diverse genus of orchids in New England. It's got to be up there. Maybe Spiranthes has more. I think Platanthera has more. So you get quite a number of these species, at least a dozen and change. And I like them. I appreciate them. Some of them are rare. I just not usually my priority. This species, though, however, is probably one of the more showy species we get. Probably up there with Platanthera ciliaris, Platanthera blephara glottis. There's some real nice ones, and some real, diminutive, not so showy ones. This one is in the pretty showy eye candy camp. Probably the real reason why I'm going to come out to show it to you. But there's some interesting morphological stuff going on here. Because like I said, it's totally fine to just look at pretty flowers. But you should, pay attention to the, what's actually going on, quote unquote, with these things. So there's a very, very, very similar species that's just as common. This one, and then it's a look-alike, are, despite being very, very beautiful, attractive orchids, not super rare in the grand scheme of things. Like, you could post this up on iNat, unobscured, no problem. They do well. They don't mind the acidic stuff. They can hack it here in the eastern part of the state, and these oak pine woodlands which we're in right now. And indeed, I'm not even out in the middle of nowhere. I'm at a pretty well known spot. I'm not gonna blow it up right this second, but I mean it's close enough by. So anyway, this has a closely basically a mimic. There's the lesser purple fringed orchid, greater purple fringed orchid. That's what they call them. There's a look-alike Platanthera psychotes, which I have seen before and I've covered on the covered on the channel before. It looks remarkably similar, almost identical to it, save for two key factors. One, obviously, being the bloom time. This is mid-June, and it's in full bloom. All of them are, and Platanthera psychotes is more of a late July, mid-July, late July, even into early August. I think I've seen it before. So, kind of different phenology to them. And what's real interesting, and we'll get into it with the morphology right now. Obviously, this is a Orchidoideae, core orchid subfamily. What gets really interesting with these, and I'm going to try not to get my butt wet here as I bend down, is like many Platanthera do, this has a nectar spur. And I'm going to really try to make sure this translates. Mess around with the camera for just a second. Fuss with that. Ah, God. There we go. What makes these interesting in the dead ringer. Yeah, there you go. That's nice, huh? So what you're doing, you see that little hole there in the middle? It's the nectar spur. So presumably some little insect. I'll figure out the difference. I think this is more for moths. One's more moth pollinated. Well, psychotes, literally the other species, literally means butterfly. So I'm guessing this is pollinated by something other than butterflies. But that little nectar spur opening there is your dead giveaway. No debate that this is Platanthera grandiflora and not Platanthera psychotes. The fringes can look a little different, but that's not the best morphological feature to go off of. And the bloom time is reliable, but you know, they overlap, and you know, sometimes plants, the phenology is a little off. I mean, all these are blooming substantially earlier than I would have thought they would have, because it's so unseasonably warm and mild over the winter. But I digress. This is kind of the orchid. This is kind of the orchid syndrome here. This hyperdiversity, and indeed, if you're just tuning in, this is basically it's been a great season for orchids. Not every season is a good season for orchids, but you know, they have a remarkable tendency to. Sorry, I got cut off there for a second. What I was going to say was they get a remarkable tendency to disappear under the ground, you know, for years at a time. Certain species of orchid. Not accusing Platanthera grandiflora of doing that necessarily, but a lot of species can do that. So anyway, yada yada yada. But this hyper sort of specification to their pollinator is, you know, widely theorized to be one of its, you know, basically one of its tricks that it can do. So this is Platanthera. So a lot of these, you don't necessarily need to come out to like a super special, you know, bog or fen to find them. They certainly do occur there, you know, certain species. This, like Psychotes, much more of a forest dweller. I'm in like a boggy little seep. I'll walk around here. I'll show you the bigger ones that are growing just out of frame right now. And, you know, I'll show you some of the other co-occurring species here, what the habitat looks like. But just a nice little wooded boggy seep. I don't know what the technical term for that would be. Maybe swampy. I guess that does make sense, but you get the idea. So, you know, there's a few dozen of them here. We'll take a walk around. We'll talk about them, but just know that you can have two almost virtually visually identical species of orchid, and just understand the fact that they could have two completely different pollination regimes. Just that seems to be kind of their bread and butter. So you could, and I'll put a picture of Platanthera psychotes up next to this thing. You tell me what the difference is, but apparently it all has to do with the fact one went for one pollinator, one went for the other, and now despite being these beautiful, you know, these beautiful frilly fucks, they're you know, independent species. I don't even know if they hybridize. I would be shocked if they didn't, and I can certainly try to get access to that information in my flora. So we'll see. Zoom back out here. Look at a couple of the other aspects of the morphology here. Get that guy in focus there. So, you know, you get your, come on. Oh, my tripod's sinking into the muck here. That's fun. Well, sorry about that. So you get your nice labellum, fringed labellum down below there. Are those the, is that the actual pollinia up there? Maybe. Are you sticky? Or are those the staminodes? Those might be the staminodes. I always forget how it works with these guys. That's okay though. I can put the little note to clarify. There's that entrance to that nectar spur, dorsal sepal, petals. If it's anything like Platanthera lacera, the actual dorsal petals are going to be really, really reduced and off to the side. Yeah, you can kind of get the idea that there's one of the dorsals, there's one of the lateral sepals. And again, beautiful fringed labellum, inferior ovary, as with all orchids. This one's got the bracts doing the thing. You can see there's one of the sepal, there's the one of the lateral sepals. Dorsal sepal up top. No clue where the lateral petals are. Oh yeah, they're right in there. Super reduced on quite a number of Platanthera species. Sorry, I'm just gonna pick this guy apart. Oh, you've got a weird little. There's a weird little guy in there. Is he hunting for prey? But you get the idea. Platanthera, not the most remarkable thing in the world, but still a beautiful, beautiful flower. And again, this is one of the leafy ones. Let's get those nice leathery leaves down to the base. Some of them are getting kind of chewed up. So anyway, that's enough about this specifically. This is one of those things where not a plant that I've really been hunting for, but it's more of a, it's here. Why don't I show it to you? Because it's not going to be that difficult for me. The logistics of it work well. There's another one right in there. The shade. There's a lot of these little kind of reduced ones too that only have a few flowers on them. We're going to go around the corner here. I'll turn this off for a second. We'll go look around. Simplocarpus fluidus. Some type of Osmandastrum, probably just Osmandastrum cinnamonium. Overstory here, you got a nice, almost some type of elm. That's kind of cool. Probably not an American elm, probably like a slippery elm or something like that. And lots and lots and lots of poison ivy and impatiens, which you would expect, exactly kind of what you would expect in this type of habitat. Let's go look at one of the bigger ones, and we'll probably honestly wrap this up and get out of here. And yeah, there you go, real quick. Two good-sized ones. That's about what I'd expect from Platanthera psychotes too. Just coming right up out of some moss down there. That's nice. Great plant. Smells delightful too. Coming up with the Veratrum variety right behind it. Surprised I seem to have missed all of those in bloom. There's a few of them in here, but none of them seem to have any of their little green flowers out. But whatever. Maybe too late. Maybe too early. They're already looking like they're rotting into the ground. Oh, this one right there. Yeah, too late. Yeah, see, that inflorescence has already been done. They rot really quickly once they once they wrap up. Get some sort of crataegus growing through here. That's nice. Blueberries. And what else could you want besides a nice, beautiful, fragrant showy? Actual showy. Something that even if you're some square who doesn't normally care about plants, I could see a number of people getting invested in something like this at least. But anyway, that is quite literally all I really wanted to show you. Just a quick little detour on Platanthera grandiflora and the hilarious case of divergence that it has with its close relative Platanthera psychotes. Plus, I had never seen it before, and if it's growing this close to my place, might as well come out and see it, Also, my partner likes this one because they think it looks like a fairy. Which it does, kind of. The little labellum looks like a little fairy. It's cute, it's real cute. Yeah, here you go. Case in point. This is how early everything's blooming. I've never seen Monotropa uniflora bloom. Ooh, I got a weevil on me. Cute. Cute as shit, little bugger. Love weevils. I'll take a picture of him in a second. Yeah, never see this plant blooming. Usually it would associate it with July. Like August, but here it is coming out. So is geez, the big bumblebee. Everything's scaring me these days. I'm too nervous. You see, Michella repens already wrapping up. Little member of the coffee family. You're a June bloomer. You I'm used to seeing in June, but Monotropa uniflora, everyone's favorite mica heterotroph, is not one that I'm used to seeing. Nice spot for it too. Where'd that weevil go? Oh, he took off. That's a shame. He was cute. You ever see a weevil? I'll put a picture up of a little weevil. Show you what they look like. Anyway, that is literally all I've got for you today. Just kind of get a quick one. Just getting some fresh air. Got a lot of stress going on in my life right now, but that's okay. It happens seemingly every year, and life doesn't get easier. You just get sexier. So have a good one.